corporate and foundation philanthropy. In 2017, I became CEO of the Robin Hood Foundation, one of the largest poverty-fighting organizations in the country. Dawn and I both consider Steve a valuable mentor and friend, and always will. To have this opportunity now to listen to Steve's unflinchingly honest memoir of his trials and triumphs as a teacher, and how Nifty came to be, is a real treat. We thoroughly enjoyed getting to know Steve's wonderful students and hearing about his adventures with them in Goodbye Homeboy, and were inspired anew by his story. We know you will be too. Wes Moore, Baltimore. Preface. It takes roughly 26 minutes to travel the 8 miles from Boys and Girls High School in Bedford-Stuyvesant to the Waldorf Astoria on Park Avenue, depending on traffic. It took me 31 years, 1 month, and 17 days. I felt awestruck as I entered the Waldorf's glittering ballroom for a gala celebrating the silver anniversary of the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, Nifty, the nonprofit I founded in 1987 to bring entrepreneurship education to low-income youth, had survived 25 bumpy yet exhilarating years. As Nifty's founder, I was the guest of honor at this milestone event. I could hardly believe it. During that quarter century, Nifty grew from a dream I had when I was a teacher in New York City's roughest high schools into a multi-million-dollar nonprofit. Today, Nifty is a global leader in providing entrepreneurship education to low-income youth, from Chicago to China. Studies of Nifty programs by researchers from Brandeis University, Harvard University, and Rand Corporation prove that entrepreneurship education reduces dropout rates and disrupts the school-to-prison pipeline in low-income communities. Nifty graduates are more likely to finish high school, go to college, find employment, and start businesses. I never intended to become a teacher, let alone found a nonprofit. In 1977, I graduated with an MBA from the University of Michigan and went to work for Ford Motor Company as a financial analyst. A few years later, I moved to New York City and started a small import-export company. I was happy. Life was good. But everything changed one sunny September afternoon in 1981, when I was jumped by 6 knife-wielding teenagers as I jogged along the East River. Plagued by debilitating nightmares and flashbacks after this attack, I took my therapist's advice to face my fear, perhaps a bit too literally. I closed my business and became a high school teacher, choosing to work in the city's poorest neighborhoods. From 1982 to 1988, I taught primarily special ed in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and in the decaying, gang-ridden section of the South Bronx that police had nicknamed Fort Apache. When I began teaching, I was rapidly driven to despair by my rowdy students. My classes devolved into pure chaos. I discovered, though, that whenever I talked about how to make money with a small business, my students were riveted. I had stumbled onto the truth. My students acted out in school because they were struggling with soul-crushing poverty and mortal danger around every corner. They saw zero connection between paying attention in school and improving their lives. I consistently witnessed angry, disillusioned teenagers light up whenever I explained that entrepreneurship is a viable way for anyone to earn money and create a pathway out of poverty. They were eager to learn more. I almost couldn't believe the positive changes I saw in my students as they discovered entrepreneurship. When they got excited about starting their own small businesses, they wanted to learn to read, write, and do math. They were motivated to behave better and to treat other people with respect once they viewed them as potential sales prospects. I discovered that my low-income students had a natural aptitude for entrepreneurship, born of their stressful lives. They were comfortable with risk and